Think of some really good modern cartoons. It's likely that you are thinking of Gravity Falls and or Steven Universe as some of the best modern cartoons, and you wouldn't be wrong. Both of these shows have some really great things about them, and today I'm going to be putting them to battle and seeing which one is better. Keep in mind this video is completely my opinion, although there will be a bunch of facts describing what happened in each show. So to start the battle of these two good modern cartoons, I want to compare the very beginnings of the shows. Steven Universe Season 1 was definitely not the best. I haven't seen every single episode from it, but I've seen enough to know the general quality. It starts off with very little continuity and almost no backstory. There are a few really good episodes thrown in there, but overall the season is just pretty meh. I tried going back and watching every episode in this season, but it just didn't feel like a good show back then. Things started to get really interesting in the two-parter about Lapis, because this was something different for Steven Universe. We didn't get as much continuity as we should have, so this action-packed and awesome two-parter was thrown in there. This definitely made the season a bit better, but at the same time, many filler episodes came after it. Things really didn't start to get good until the end of the season with all the action and continuity. Now, Gravity Falls Season 1 wasn't the best either. However, I do think there was a lot more to be interested in, because so much was happening. Each episode had its own story, but episode 1 introduced a really cool story arc. If you don't remember, at the end of Tourist Trapped, Dipper writes in his journal and asks, "Who knows what other secrets are waiting to be unlocked?" As he writes this, Grunkle Stan goes behind the vending machine and looks around ominously. This was an amazing setup to the story arc that Stan is not who we think. Gravity Falls actually set up this whole story in the first episode, while Steven Universe falls short in that. Now with the rest of Gravity Falls Season 1, most of it is filler. There are a bunch of episodes that are great stories, but don't connect with any other episode or storyline. However, I do think that the filler episodes of Gravity Falls are much better than those of Steven Universe. Towards the end of the first season, we also got two huge episodes, Dreamscaperers and Gideon Rises. These were incredible, and personally I thought they were better than the end of Steven Universe Season 1. So in the category of first seasons and first impressions, Gravity Falls definitely takes the cake. There are a bunch of other things to compare between Gravity Falls and Steven Universe. One sort of small thing but worth mentioning is the songs. Both of these shows don't have songs too often, but they happen enough for me to mention it in this video. The songs in Gravity Falls include Goat and a Pig, Training Mix, and Lil Ol' Me. These songs are definitely good and catchy, but they don't really mean anything. They're songs just for fun, and you can sing along, but none of them really have extra hidden meanings. However, Steven Universe does things differently. There are tons of songs such as It's Over, Isn't It?, Here Comes a Thought, and Do It For Her. Now what Steven Universe does incredibly is create extremely meaningful songs to make you think. Combine that with the fact that they are catchy, and you have some awesome tunes. Many of the songs in this show not only have hidden meanings, but the characters sing them with true emotion. So for the song category, Steven Universe does way better than Gravity Falls. The only case where I think this isn't true is the theme song, because in my opinion the Gravity Falls theme song is better than the Steven Universe one. So what about the characters? Honestly, each show has very different people, so it's hard to compare them. In Steven Universe we got Steven obviously, and his 3 crystal gems. Not to mention all the other side characters and people that appear every few episodes. This show seems to have characters with dark backstories, so it's really cool to see how they act in the present. For example, Pearl fought in the war with Rose, so watching how she is in the show is sad, knowing what she went through. One thing about Steven Universe though, is that many of the characters are female. This is due to the clear themes of the show, yet some would argue that it's done too much. There's not really a balance of male and female characters in Steven Universe, since it's basically just Steven and 3 crystal gems that we see the most. Social norms are broken with all these female characters, so it might turn off some people from watching the show. The characters in Gravity Falls are much different. The adults have some incredibly interesting backstories that viewers would all want to learn more about. Personally, I think that Grunkle Stan's mysterious past is better than Pearl's backstory in the war. We also have the 2 main characters, Dipper and Mabel, who are awesome. They're the normal characters that basically any viewer can relate to. The best part about them is that they break cliches that you would expect them to be. Seeing Mabel one time might lead you to believe that she's just another tween girl obsessed with boys, glitter, and smiles, but as the show goes on you realize that she isn't exactly this. There are examples of her difference throughout the whole show, but in Season 2 it's really exaggerated how different she is towards the end. And I didn't even mention some of the other characters like Seuss and Ford, 2 characters who make the show way better. Overall, the Gravity Falls characters are more diverse and hilarious than those in Steven Universe. And remember, that's just my opinion, so be sure to let me know why you think otherwise if you do. Now, Steven Universe and Gravity Falls both have some really good lessons. I would say that the lessons in Steven Universe are more meaningful than those in Gravity Falls. This is probably due to the fact that Steven Universe is more of an emotional show, and there are many moments where lessons are learned after characters do things they regret. Gravity Falls does have a good lesson about growing up, but at the same time you can learn a lot from watching Steven Universe. Let's talk about the networks that the shows are on. This is actually really important because networks decide how popular the shows are going to be. Gravity Falls started on Disney Channel and then went to Disney XD. Disney Channel is definitely a very popular channel, but most people go on there expecting to see a sitcom. When someone sees Gravity Falls instead, they may get confused, but it would still get a lot of viewers because Disney is pretty popular. When it went to Disney XD, it got way less views. Not as many people go on Disney XD because many people don't like the cartoons on it. So in this category, Gravity Falls is at a huge disadvantage. Things are different with Steven Universe. It's on Cartoon Network, which is literally the best option. When you think of watching a cartoon nowadays, you go right to Cartoon Network. It always gets tons of views no matter what the show is. You wouldn't go to Nickelodeon now because it has a bunch of sitcoms mixed in with the cartoons. So yes, Steven Universe is more popular than Gravity Falls. It's a shame though because the type of network decided this. There are other comparisons I can make between Gravity Falls and Steven Universe, but I'm gonna stop here. I would say Gravity Falls is better, but honestly when I made videos on it for 3 years, you shouldn't expect otherwise. But don't think I hate Steven Universe. It's one of the best modern cartoons and I always watch the new episodes. I feel like the quality has actually went up recently, so I keep watching. But as a show, I feel like Gravity Falls has some awesome storylines, characters, and ended before it got stale. Steven Universe is great, but Gravity Falls is amazing. This video is definitely one where you guys should comment below and let me know where you stand. If you've seen both shows, which one is better, and why do you think so? I'll be checking out your comments and replying to them, so be sure to let me know. Anyway, that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already, and give a thumbs up on the video if you liked it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.